Hello everybody and welcome to another Vintage Fans and More product spotlight sponsored by Hinkley. Last year I showcased Hinkley fans for the first time with a lengthy in-depth production. While the focus of that video was on a more specific segment of the fan selection, it also covered many key components and features of the collective product line. This year I'm excited to dive more into the main core of the fan offering and look more at how this brand in particular continues to innovate and elevate, both within and beyond the market trends. Hinkley is very quickly jumping up my list of favorite brands, not only in terms of design, but also in the overall presentation and thoughtful intention behind every component of the product. Today we're looking at the Tiburon, a new model that caters to the popular wrapping blade look, but once again takes the design and features to a completely different level. Let's get into some of the basic information about this fan. Tiburon is a 56-inch fan available in 3 finish combinations, the matte white motor and blade option that I'm showing today, as well as a matte black motor with either coordinating matte black blades or a simulated driftwood look. All finishes are damp rated for use anywhere indoors or in a covered application outside. Inside the fan is an energy-efficient DC motor, which paired with an 18-degree blade pitch produces airflow of 5,828 cubic feet per minute at high speed. The Energy Guide average airflow is listed at 3,790 cubic feet per minute. For a 56-inch fan, these airflow numbers are in more of an average range, but there are certain products like this one that present a certain overall experience and make the nickel and diming of CFM numbers far less relevant to me. You'll see more of these details presented throughout the video, but let's start with the control system. Last year, my first experience with Hinkley's Hero system blew most of the competition out of the water. While others are starting to take notes from Hero's execution, Hinkley still offers the most cohesive and comprehensive setup. There are only 2 types of controls, one for AC motors and the other for DC motors, and both are very similar in form and function, creating an operating experience that is mostly universal. The basic remote component can be used as a handheld, mounted at a wall location in place of a switch, or remotely at literally any location you desire. Plus, the unit itself is magnetic and can stick independently to a variety of metal surfaces. Best of all, Hero integrates seamlessly with smart features via the Hinkley app for DC motor fans that include the capability, or AC motor fans that are upgraded for Wi-Fi control. For a DC motor fan like the Tiburon, the Hero remote controls all functions, including the 6 fan speeds, reverse, and the light settings. On the topic of lighting, this fan actually offers 2 lighting components. Both are dimmable LED, and they can be controlled simultaneously or individually via the Hero remote or set to specific levels in the Hinkley app to achieve the perfect ambiance. The bottom lighting component features Hinkley's warm dim technology, which mimics the natural dimming characteristics of an incandescent bulb, while the uplight only dims at the set 3000 Kelvin color temperature. This is the one thing that doesn't quite hit the mark for me, as I'd prefer warm dim across the board for a cohesive look, but honestly, if this is the biggest gripe I have, we're talking finest of details that would only make a fantastic product better. It's far from being any kind of deal breaker, but I wanted to mention it to encourage adjustments for future generations of products. On camera, it's not going to show as intensely, and it's not too bad until you get to the lowest settings, where in person, the difference is pretty stark, which is where I just can't quite ignore my distaste for mismatched color temperatures. An uplight is one of my favorite features for any fan to have, so I'm really not here to complain too much because I do love to see it and hope to see even more designs implementing them. This element is not typically found on fans of this style, and it's something that truly sets this design apart. It was integrated very seamlessly and is surprisingly well concealed, and its indirect glow just sets a completely different mood. Uplights are additionally an ingenious way to help boost the lumens and light distribution with today's popular integrated downlights, which by nature do not light spaces very well on their own. All of this great functional light bouncing off of the ceiling helps to reduce the dark shadowing around the perimeter of the room. While I would still recommend supplementing with other types of task and ambient lighting, it is vastly better than a single downlight component would be on its own. But this is just the beginning of what I love about this fan. Let's set it in motion and get into more of those details. Here we are with low speed, incredibly gentle, and in my opinion, the perfect amount of airflow to keep running for the best night of sleep. Touching on design and finishes, I'll say that it's uncommon for me to select all-white fans to feature in my product spotlight videos. They're usually the tamest option and can blend away into the background of the ceiling for people who don't really enjoy the appearance of ceiling fans. Clearly that is not the way we operate around here, but there are scenarios when this color palette can be the contrast and really make an impression, and there are even times when a white color can accentuate the fine details like no other. That's the case with the Tiburon, and I'd argue that it's the complete antithesis of the stereotypical plain white fan. A light base color brings out the shadow and dimension of the beautiful wave texture molded into each blade. When turning, the waves flow together seamlessly, introducing an additional layer of motion that is so satisfying to the eye. Also extremely satisfying is this absolutely stunning low speed within range of 30 RPM. I cannot express how thrilled I was when I first turned this fan on and saw this speed. As many manufacturers have been creeping up to 60 RPM for their DC low speeds, I have still been begging for manufacturers to go the opposite direction and slow the lower settings down. As briefly mentioned at the top of this segment, it allows for the best range of comfort settings, and you just can't argue with the aesthetic ambiance that this type of speed sets for a space. A really good low speed alone will absolutely move a product and brand up my rank of favorites, because you just don't find this excellent range of function everywhere. It doesn't seem that Hinkley lists their low speed RPMs in the typical data, so I'm not sure offhand if there are other products from the brand offering this speed selection, but if the whole range of DC fans could achieve this type of setting, Hinkley would 100% be in my top few favorite, most recommended product lines. They already have the unique styles, top quality, and smart features that I love, and the range of products suit a variety of settings. While Hinkley tends to be more on the premium end of price points, they do offer a range, and I think a lot of their features are worth the premium. All that considered, my top recommendations are always reserved for the lines that pay attention to the finest speed selection on every product. Working with this fan has certainly piqued my interest further, and I sense that Hinkley is right on that edge of being the ultimate package, so I guarantee that I'll be looking to expand my representation with the brand going forward, and I'm more eager than ever to watch the products get progressively better in every regard. Now looking at high speed, you'll likely note that it's not the fastest. While faster RPM could assuredly boost the overall performance aspects of this fan, I'm not unimpressed with the airflow achieved. I would be more inclined to choose this model in many scenarios for all of the positive aspects I've covered, over something that is simply capable of higher airflow. Fans like this are why I feel my videos are so important, because on paper this fan might not present as anything particularly special, but I think what it delivers overall is a standout experience. Putting numbers aside, this style of wrapping blade tends to be quite efficient, as there are no sharp edges or corners cutting or trapping the airflow, and the slight upward tilt of this particular blade distributes the air nicely. These blades are shaped exactly the way I prefer them to be, which by nature helps maximize the delivery of the airflow, even though the CFM data leans more average. It may not be the top performer in this style category, but the function is overall good, and the slower RPM means that it operates very quietly. Also, despite the lower RPM of this high speed, each of the 6 speeds is still distinct and offers a very solid range of both function and aesthetics, which is an element that always sets the very best apart from the rest. Hinkley excels with their fan products in 2 major ways. They're either able to set the trends through their visionary use of materials and strong sense of individual design, or they'll take a trendy style, like what the Tiburon is derived from, flip it on its head, and load it up with their best features to elevate above the competition. Either way, this line is undoubtedly one to watch, and I'm fortunate to be sharing these incredible products with you. Thank you to Hinkley for making this video possible. Be sure to check them out on socials at the links in the description below, and stop by my channels as well. I've got more unique content with the Tiburon going up on Instagram and TikTok today, plus be sure to follow me on Facebook and Blue Sky to see when I post new videos. Subscribe and ring the notification bell here on YouTube before you leave to get updates on new content. You can catch my installation short as well as the full demonstration video for the Tiburon later this week, along with more new products coming up soon. Thank you all for watching today, and I will see you next time. click left to watch another Hinkley product spotlight, or click right for my entire Hinkley playlist.